This is super nerve-wracking, jeez. If I start dripping. Oh, there's my presentation. All right. Hi, I'm Anish Wijesinghe, and I've done a lot of things in a very short time. And I'd like to talk a little bit about breaking your limitations, and that's what my presentation is going to be about. So I have 70,000 followers online. I've been a professional tennis player and also a flamenco guitarist. So this is one of my many companies, Motion Miracles. Many companies, meaning a few companies, not many. But what we do at Motion Miracles is we build mobile games right now, and sometimes up to 4 mobile. Oh my God, this is not good. Okay, I think I get a. My frequency is like messing this up. Yes. broke the Pech Kucha format. Wait, from here? Really? Okay, wait. Okay, maybe one slide back. Okay, so yes, this is my company, Motion Miracles, and we build 4 games a week sometimes. I mean, by 4 games, we push it for testing and all this stuff. And we're young, we're all self-trained. Pretty cool, right? And so with such a background, you would expect someone like me to be in an environment where, you know, exposure, mentorship, and like a tech family, you know, background where people are always telling me what to do and all this stuff. But that wasn't the case. It was actually something different. It was something actually futuristic almost, something the Silicon Valley is it just, should I stand closer to the, not to that, but to the whatever it is. Can we go back one slide? All right. Oh gosh. Ew. Oh, amazing. So do I just stand here till then the mic comes? So it's more than 6 minutes. Oh, is it forward? Oh, amazing. All right, so so I actually lived in something even better than Silicon Valley. I lived in an environment where I could do whatever I liked, whenever I liked. I could have fun and just hang out with whoever I liked whenever, right? And that was super cool, right? And this actually happened in a video game called Minecraft. So pretty much in this game, you could either choose to be a mathematician, a physics person. You can even just be yourself, where you just trap your friends inside the game. You could, I remember I built like a Roman pantheon at one time. I also built calculators in this game, right? And it's amazing. And this all happened in that room over there, like a tiny room in the comforts of my home, which is kind of crazy to think about, right? That you can live in this virtual dimension, right? And that was my exposure, right? This little room in the middle of France, right? So, wow. All right, and a crucial component was I had time. So I was homeschooled, and what that meant was teachers couldn't define my boundaries, and also students, and the physical environment could not define, because I was living in solitude. I was being homeschooled. So, yeah, no friends, kind of, that part sucked, but yeah, and then, so that concept alone allowed me to feel like I was safe, you know, to be myself, to be curious. So I just went on the internet and did whatever I liked, right? I had time from being homeschooled. I didn't have so much work. So I searched stuff like how to make a Minecraft animation, how to be a flamenco guitarist, and all this stuff. And that eventually led to, my first stuff, you know. Woo, okay, no, all right. I thought I had magic fingers. Anyway, but this was my first ever animation. And the cool thing is, in the comforts of my little room, with this crappy little animation, I made 165,000 views. So 165,000 people were affected by this in my little room, which is super cool. And then that went on to, 3 million views with one of my animations going viral. And that was super cool as well. That was sort of, another big step in I took a big step. And yeah, so 3 million views, and that eventually went on into more things, like a products business. So this was super successful. I sold I sold this product to over 70 different countries, over 350,000 downloads in worldwide setting. I was actually the #1 person in the community of Minecraft animations, right? Homeschooling and yeah, all that stuff. Okay, so I applied this whole methodology to various other things, not just what I was doing in animation, but also guitar. I decided that I would play the guitar flat because why not? And then so an instrument that's a few 1,000 years old, I'm sort of creating boundaries for that instrument now because I didn't let other people define it. So I really think this should be a norm. This is another example of a Minecraft community member who at 15 years old became a millionaire, right? He was building Minecraft servers. And then at 18, he sold his company to Microsoft for a few $1 million. Yeah, he's living in Silicon Valley though. But anyway, so going back a little, I actually went back to a regular school for my final year, and that was shocking. Like, I was like, whoa. There's a huge difference here. It's like, I was like, whoa, yeah, I was like that. Curiosity just behind bars, School just literally destroyed everything. And every day I would question, like, why is this the case in such a hugely connected world, Hugely connected, and why haven't we evolved from such a, industrial sort of standard, right? And I really feel that we need to sort of evaluate what the current structure of education is. So we're right now teaching to grades and test scores. That A+. How is an A+ going to teach curiosity, or sorry, facilitate curiosity for kids? Be curious about an A+. That doesn't make sense. So instead, why not give children, like a pure form of curiosity is like if you give a child a toy car, they'll break it into pieces and put it back together, and that's how they learn. Right? We need to make that more accessible, where you can literally reach in, break it apart, and facilitate the curiosity. And that's actually something that I'm working on, which is basically that. So you would see, and on what I'm working on, you would see like, say, a video game or something on it, and you can literally dissect it and break it apart within the app with just one swipe. Like, video game, swipe right, pretty cool. You can see everything, how it was made, whatever. So I'm going to leave you with one thing. Think about your limitations. What has the world limited you on? What was sort of your, oh, that was too fast. Limitations, what were the limitations that have been placed on you by the external environment? And I'm going to give you an example of a limitation that has been given to you from a really young age, which is the voice. Ooh, wait. That went out completely wrong, but okay. Thank you. There's a huge... There's a huge delay on this mic, jeez. Imagine hearing yourself beatbox like you're like listening. Yeah, okay, anyway. So questions. Oh, cool, yes.
Just genuinely curious, what's the first thing that you broke and then went, oh, I can do that?
First thing I broke. I think I broke everything, Like, if someone throws me a ball and throws it back, I literally throw it behind, try and catch it, then run away with it. So I think I kind of break every system that people try and put on me, which is kind of disruptive in some ways. We shouldn't do that. Should respect people. But what I'm saying is, yeah, I think really I would break everything. Like, say for example, I was doing my Minecraft animation stuff. I downloaded a competitor product, which was $50. I broke it down in like 5 seconds. I was like, oh gosh, what is this? So I started building, my own one, kept breaking it down. I had 9 versions of it, and yeah, reverse engineering. Yeah, but breaking things, breaking limitations, yes, okay. Any more questions? Ooh, I scared everyone. Yes.
Clearly, you had a lot of pros being homeschooled. Were there any cons other than not having friends?
Yes, that's a very good one. That is indeed. So homeschooling, yes, there were pros, there were cons, but being isolated for a long period of time, a lot, and not having friends and stuff, it was good at the time. Definitely, there are some cons to that. I was socially awkward, crazily, for a good year, going back to that regular school. But yeah, I think naturally one of the things you have to be careful of when you're homeschooling is you need to either have a passion or the kid has to have a passion about something. So I was playing tennis, that's why I was homeschooled. And then when I went to the regular school, back to regular school, I had to adapt, And I became a little bit hostile. So because now I had a different sort of attitude towards the world, right? And then people were attacking it. It's like, Anish, why are you doing this way? It's not the case, right? Just like any founder who's trying to do something innovative, everyone's going to be hostile in some ways because they're going to be attacking your thought process and all this stuff, right? So I think that was really difficult to go through sometimes, where you felt like you're always in defense from who you are. As someone in Minecraft, I would do whatever I like, where I used to just bug all my friends. I would build these contraptions where they would walk onto a pressure plate and they'd die, right? And they'd lose all their stuff. If Minecrafters out there would know. So yeah, I can't do that in real life. But what I'm saying is, yeah, so there's a place for, different things, but you gotta find it. I think homeschooling, that part of just adapting back into the system was a little difficult. Yeah. More questions?
So, being surrounded by people who have been bred in captivity, what would you say are the 3 symptoms of these captively bred people that you have that kind of challenge you? What are the limitations or symptoms that you feel like, oh, I wish you guys would break out of this?
What was the question exactly?
So if most people have been to in a formal education system, right? Would you say that there are general-ish symptoms of that when you're working with people or trying to push through, barriers? What are kind of
Right. So yeah, I think even in the previous presentations, they're talking about how to unlearn in some ways. Even at Motion Miracles, people have gone through conventional teachings, and you have to really break that culture. I think the future, because of these virtual worlds, I didn't cover it much in the talk, but the more we create these virtual dimensions where you have boundless ability to create, the more you're going to start seeing these people, in reality. So that guy who created that, that multi-million-dollar business, he's an example of a gamer, right? I know parents are always don't play video games, and then the Fortnite world champion just won $3 million, right? So it's not about we should get over that concept of it should, once you play games, once you make financials, that's when parents are like, oh, cool, you can now play games once you make money. Get rid of that. Games are so much more important. And then in terms of addressing the question, working with people who don't have that same, breaking mentality, how Facebook, where's Zuckerberg? He's move fast and break things. I think Zuckerberg's, yeah, hopefully he's listening to this, But anyway, yeah, so I think it's It's up to the founder, really, to set the tone. And that's very difficult. And because I'm used to sort of people enforcing stuff, I think I developed sort of a wall to repel it or whatever you want to call it. But it's really difficult. As a founder, especially in Sri Lanka, where sometimes, there's a norm set in place, you keep fighting for what you think your heart says. What you experience as a child, your inner child, right? Playing Minecraft as my inner child, just going all over the place. And if you can retain that and you can be a founder, I think that's really what a founder is about. Being that inner child that, oh gosh, I'm talking too much. But yes, that was the answer though. Be the inner child and on your heart, and you will follow eventually. Yeah.